Swamin iti namine.
Swamin iti namine.
Namaste Saraswate Deve.
Namaste Saraswate Deve.
Gauravani Pracharine.
Gauravani Pracharine.
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi.
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi.
Paschatya Deshatarine.
Pachatya Deshatarine.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Prabhu Nityananda.
Prabhu Nityananda.
Shri Advaita Gadadhara.
Shri Advaita Gadadhara.
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare.
So the context, how this chapter had started. So we have to understand the connection between chapter 15 and chapter 16. So chapter 15 started with banyan tree, Ashwattha Vriksham. So this material world is this banyan tree is a representation of this material world. The three modes of material nature nourish both the upper auspicious divine branches of the Lord and the lower demoniac branches also. The extra roots of this banyan tree were compared to the activities of the living entities, either good or bad. So this chapter focuses on divine qualities that elevate one on the tree and lead ultimately to liberation. And it also explains about the demoniac qualities and the mentality which drives one lower on the tree and ultimately towards the hell. So this chapter, basically a tree has fruits. Some are sweet, some are bitter. So this focus, we'll be understanding that both categories, that Papa and Punya perspective. If we do pious activities, what kind of lives we will have? If we do impious activities, what kind of lives we will have? This is the focus here. So please repeat after me. It's a 3 verses, continuous 3 verses. Please repeat after me. Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhir.
Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhir.
Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi.
Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi.
Dhanam Damascha Yajnascha.
Dhanam Damascha Yajnascha.
Swadhyaya Stapa Arjavam. Once again. Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhir.
Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhir.
Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi.
Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi.
Dhanam Damascha Yajnascha.
Dhanam
Yajnascha.
Swadhyaya Stapa Arjavam.
Swadhyaya Stapa Arjavam.
Ahimsa Satyam Akrodas.
Ahimsa
Satyam Akrodas.
Yaga Shantir Apaisunam.
Yaga Shantir Apaisunam.
Daya Bhuteshu Aloluptvam.
Daya
Bhuteshu Aloluptvam.
Mardavam Hrir Achapalam.
Mardavam Hrir Achapalam.
Ahimsa Satyam Akrodas.
Ahimsa Satyam Akrodas.
Yaga Shantir Apaisunam.
Yaga Shantir Apaisunam.
Daya Bhuteshu Aloluptvam.
Daya
Bhuteshu Aloluptvam.
Mardavam Hrir Achapalam.
Mardavam Hrir Achapalam.
Teja Kshama Dhruti Sauchyam.
Teja Kshama Dhruti Sauchyam.
Adroho Nati Manita.
Adroho Nati Manita.
Bhavanti Sampadam Devim.
Bhavanti Sampadam Devim.
Abhijatasya Bharata.
Abhijatasya Bharata.
Teja Kshama Dhruti Sauchyam.
Teja Kshama Dhruti Sauchyam.
Adroho Nati Manita.
Adroho Nati Manita.
Bhavanti Sampadam Devim.
Bhavanti Sampadam Devim.
Abhijatasya Bharata.
Abhijatasya Bharata.
So all these are 26 qualities. All these are mentioned as divine qualities. So majorly all these 26 qualities are derived from all the Varnashrama qualities. Like Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa. So here the exact translation says, the Blessed Lord said, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Abhayam, fearlessness, Sattva Shamshuddhi, purification of one's existence, Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, Dhanam Damascha Yajnascha, charity, self-control and performance of sacrifice, Swadhyaya Stapa Arjavam, study of the Vedas, Tapaha austerity, Arjavam simplicity, then Ahimsa Satyam Akrodhas, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, Tyaga Shantir Apaisunam, renunciation, Shantihi tranquility, Apaisunam aversion to fault finding, Daya Bhutesh Alovulupvam, Daya compassion, and Daya Bhutesh Alovulupvam, freedom from covetousness, Mardavam Hrir Achapalam, Mardavam gentleness, Hrir modesty, Achapalam study determination. Then Teja Kshama Dhruti Saucham, vigor, Tejaha, Kshama forgiveness, Dhrutihi fortitude, Saucham cleanliness, Adroho Natimanita, Adroho freedom from envy, Na Atimanita and the passion for honor, Bhavanti Sampadam Devin, these transcendental qualities, Abhijatasya Bharta, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. So those who are taken birth, Abhijatasya, all these transcendental qualities belong to them. So here it is explained, the main theme of chapter 16 explains the transcendental and demoniac natures and their attendant qualities, and also their advantages and disadvantages. The connection to chapter 15 is extra roots of the banyan tree were also compared to the activities of living entities, some auspicious and some inauspicious. So how do we develop either good or bad qualities? By association with particular modes. So demoniac qualities derived from modes of passion and ignorance. So when we do when we act in mode of passion or in ignorance, there is no possibility of liberation. And their destiny will be either one stays as human in this material world or descends to lower species like animal forms. If it is divine qualities, develops from goodness. So such activities are called as Daivi Prakriti. They are considered auspicious for progress on the path of liberation. So all these divine 26 qualities are explained as transcendental qualities because they are meant for making spiritual advancement so that one can become liberated from this material. So specifically here the word Abhijatasya implies one born of these qualities. Jataha means to take birth. Abhijatasya means one who taken birth with all these 26 divine qualities. So Shastras say Garbhadana Samskara is very important because the consciousness in which the parents indulge will attract that kind of living entity into that womb. So it is very important to beget a child in godly atmosphere. So this is called as Garbhadana Samskara. It implies to beget a child in godly atmosphere. To have a child with godly qualities, one should follow the 10 principles for social life of a human being, Dashavida Samskaras. Because in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, Krishna says, Dharma Viruddha Bhuteshu Kamosmi Bharatashrava. I am sex life which is not contrary to religious principles. So what is the basis of these cultivating qualities? These qualities are cultivated according to the different statuses of social and occupational order. That's why I said Varnashrama basis. Social, occupational order, Varna and Ashrama. So one can develop by practice, even though material conditions are miserable. If these qualities are developed by practice, by all classes of men, then gradually it becomes possible to rise to the highest form of transcendental realization. So what is the symptom of a divine personality? He leads a regulated life according to the injunctions of the scriptures. They set an example. Divine personalities, they set an example. They will be Yadyad Acharati Shrestha. Because whole world follows them, they be a role models. So what is this Varnashrama system? It is not meant to divide society according to birth. It is based on Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. This is based on educational qualifications. And this is a system which was created by the Lord. It is not a man-made system. So what is the purpose? To keep peace and prosperity in the society. And the sannyasi is considered the spiritual master of all social statuses and orders, including Brahmanas. And Brahmana is the spiritual master for other 3 classes. So, all the qualities elaborately. Now, which quality for whom? The first 3 qualities are considered for sannyasis. The first, abhayam, fearlessness. This is the first qualification of a sannyasi. He has to have a complete dependency on the Lord's mercy, because he has to be alone without guarantee of support. And he has to be a convinced personality that Paramatma will give him complete protection to a surrendered soul. Because sannyasis roam around the forest. Everywhere they roam around. If they have to pass through a forest, daytime, nighttime, and everywhere if they had to stay, that is that fearlessness they have to develop in this material. They have to completely depend upon surrender to the Lord. Then the whole endeavor is, when they are taking this renunciation, is sattva samshuddhi. Purification of one's existence, that is strictly following the rules and regulations. And they are especially forbidden to associate with women, because that's a sannyas order. We have to respect that order. It's a renounced order. Like, for example, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was personally very strict. He even set an example for Chota Haridas, who maybe in a words he spoke to a woman in a wrong perspective, just by words. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu punished him by like exiling him from the community. So then Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi, it is cultivation of knowledge. The duty of a sannyasi is to cultivate and give transcendental knowledge, especially to householders. Because they are all engrossed in this world, they do not have time to understand about spiritual perspectives. The sannyasis roam around. In the name of taking alms, they go to a householder and they give them this divine knowledge. So they exhibit humility by going door to door to beg to awaken Krishna consciousness for others. Then charity, this is the quality of a grahastha. So given in the mode of goodness, at right time, right place, and right circumstance, right person. It is recommended that a householder, grahastha, has to spend 50% of his income to propagate Krishna conscious activities. Because charity, when it is done either in passion or ignorance, it's simply waste of time. It binds one to this material world. Then damaha, self-control. Even though the object of sense gratification, his wife, is next to him, he should not misuse the opportunity of engaging in sex life. It should be used only for propagating Krishna conscious children. Then there is yajna, sacrifice, because a householder is involved in materialistic activities. He has to perform different kinds of yajnas to satisfy different personalities. So like Agnihotra yajna requires material resources. Therefore, especially grahasthas can engage in this perspective. And in this Kali Yuga, the cheap and best, the best process is, simple process is Sankirtana yajna. It is most inexpensive. Anyone can do, no qualification required, and it gives the highest benefit. Then comes for the brahmachari, swadhyaya. Because celibacy is required for a brahmachari, he has to be committed. So engagement of mind in the study of Vedic literatures is recommended, so that he does not get diverted into other aspects. His mind is not focused on any other sense gratification. So best recommendation is swadhyaya, self-study, Vedic study. Then it is tapaha, austerity. This is especially recommended for both all classes of men, especially for vanaprasthas. Because human life is meant for liberation, therefore tapasya is a must. So all orders are supposed to engage in tapasya, but especially vanaprastha are supposed to accept this tapasya. So one must retire from the household life at the age of 50 years. And this austerity can be of various perspectives: body, mind, tongue. So this refutes the show bottle spiritualists who say there is no need of austerity in life and one can go on speculating. Such philosophy attracts many followers because people want, in shortcut, very easy principles. Tapasya means to quit something for a higher purpose, to sacrifice, voluntary giving up. People do not want to give up, but they want to attain. So artificially, it cannot be possible. This refutes the speculating process in tapasya. Then from now onwards, simplicity, non-violence, all these are Brahmana qualities. 12 qualities talk about Brahmana. Simplicity means straightforward, simple. Non-violence means implies not checking progressive life of any other living entity, not to obstruct somebody's spiritual life. Akrodaha. Even if there is a provocation, one should be tolerant, because anger pollutes the whole body. It is a product of passion and lust. Tyagaha, renunciation, using things properly in Krishna's service. Because everything has a connection with Krishna, everything can be utilized in the service of Krishna. So that is proper Tyagaha. So tranquility means unaffected by disturbing emotions. So it should be peaceful and equipoised. He should be aversion to fault finding. To call a thief is okay, but to call a good man a thief is fault finding. So compassion for other living entities is by giving spiritual knowledge, prasadam, books, holy name. Then there is freedom from covetousness. That is, one should not be greedy. Charity and renunciation are must. So gentleness means friendliness to all living entities. Hri means modesty. Do not perform abominable activities. Be very modest and be plain living. Achapalam means steady determination, not agitated or frustrated in his efforts, regardless of failure. Progress with patience and determination. So now Tejas, from here onwards, these are Kshatriya qualities. Tejaha means vigor, able to give protection to those who need it. Not pose non-violent, but use violence when required. Kshama is to forgive minor offenses. So when one is able to curb down his enemies, he may under certain conditions show forgiveness. Then Drutihi, fortitude, mental and emotional strength when facing difficult situations. Saucham and Adrohaha, these two qualities are for Vaishyas. Saucham, cleanliness, it is internal, mind and heart, and external for body and in dealings with others. Like no black market or underhanded dealings. So freedom from enemy, not resentful of another. If somebody has something, I should not cry for over it. So Nati Manita, this is for Shudras, freedom from the passion of honor. So he should respect others. One should not be puffed up with unnecessary prestige and honor, but remain in one's own status. Be sticking to their self-respect principles. What is their respective duties? That is the recommended process. See, in one lecture, Prabhupada says, so those godly quality characteristics are there. Either you practice yourself to come to the godly characteristics, or there is a simple method. If you take to devotion service, all goodly qualities automatically come. So this is the process. So in this age, to develop these godly qualities is very difficult. But if you take to Krishna consciousness by the simple method, by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, then automatically you develop all the qualities, godly qualities. Yashyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarvair gunais satra samasute sura. So all the divine qualities are automatically bestowed upon a person, one who follows the instructions of Shastras. So Aranyaka Upanishad says, Punya punyena karmana bhavati papa papena. He becomes pure by pure actions and he becomes evil by evil actions.
It doesn't matter what you are doing. Varnasama vibhagas. First of all, whatever doing, it does not mean whatever nonsense you are doing, that will be accepted. No. Varnasama vibhagas. According to Vedic civilization, there is division of Varna, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So activities must be done according to the Varnasam prescription. A Brahmana is ordered to do like this. Sattva, Sama, Dhamma, Titikha, Arjava. You should practice this. A Kshatriya should practice this. And a Vaishya should practice this. So that is therefore it is called Varnasam. The prescribed duties are already there. Therefore, perfect human society means, first of all, there must be this division, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya. And when they act the duties of that particular position, Brahman, Kshatriya, for the satisfaction of Krishna, that is perfection of life. It doesn't matter whether you are a Shudra or you are Brahmana. But if you act for the satisfaction of Krishna, according to the prescription of your position, then your life is perfect. That is wanted. The whole human civilization should be based on this principle. There must be division. The division is already there. They should be coordinated, systematized. Not that everyone is Brahmana. Brahmana means the intelligent man. So we should pick up the intelligent man. They should be trained as Brahmana. Those who are martial, having fighting spirit, they should be selected as Kshatriya. Those who are for increasing money, mercantile mentality, they should be also collected. Similarly, Shudras, and they should be trained, everyone, to satisfy Krishna. Varnasama vibhagasam. Sanusthitasya dharmasya samsiddhi haritosana.
So those 3 verses talk about the divine qualities. Now Krishna, in small essence, he explains about what are the demoniac qualities. So please repeat after me. Dambo darpas abhimanascha
Dambodarpo Abhimanascha
Krodah parushyameva
Parushyamevacha
Ajnanam chabijatasya
Ajnanam Vijatasya
Partha sampadam asurim
Sampadam Asuri
Dambodarpo abhimanascha
Dambodarpo abhimanascha
Krodah parushyameva
Krodam Arusham Evacha
Ajnanam chabijatasya
Ajnanam Chabijatasya
Partha sampadam asurim.
Partha Sampadam Asurim.
So here it is said, Dambo Darpa Abhimanascha. So Dambaha means arrogance, Darpaha means pride, Abhimanascha anger, Krodah Parushyamevacha, sorry, Abhimanaha means conceit, Krodaha means anger, Parushyaha means harshness, Ajnanam cha Abhijatasya, ignorance, Ajnanam, so Abhijatasya, all those belong to persons. Partha Sampadam Asurim. So those who are in the demoniac order, oh my dear Partha, all these qualities belong to them. So again the word Abhijatasya is used. So these qualities are taken on them from the beginning of their bodies in the wombs of their mothers. As they grow, they manifest all these inauspicious qualities. So these 6 qualities, pride means demoniac want to show they want to make a show of religion and advancement in spiritual sense, but do not follow the principles. Arrogance, they are proud in possessing some education or wealth and thus be arrogant. Conceit, desire to be worshipped by others, demand respect, but do not command respect. Anger, over trifles, they become angry, they fight. Harshness, they speak very harshly. And ignorance, not knowing what to do and what not to do, and do all whimsically according to their own desire. They do not recognize any authority. This is the problem with the demoniac qualities. Prabhupada explains in one lecture. Simply we have to develop either these demoniac characteristics or divine characteristics. So human life is meant for developing divine characteristics, not this demoniac. Demoniac characteristics is already there, just like this Dambaha. A dog has also pride. I am dog. It makes sounds. And I am fox. I am this. I am that. So Dambaha is there even in the dog, even in lower animal, even in the cat. But the divine characteristics is I am low, Trunadapi Sunechana, I am lower than the grass, I am lower than the tree. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching. What is Dambaha? Why I should be pride? What is his pride? So this is arrogance due to ignorance. But when one man is unnecessarily proud, that means it is due to his ignorance. So next, please repeat after me. Daivi Sampad Vimokshaya.
Daivi Sampad Vimokshaya.
Dibandya Asuri Mata. Masuja Sampadam Daivim. Abhijatosi Pandava. Daivi Sampad Vimokshaya. Dibandya Asuri Mata. Masuja Sampadam Daivim. Abhijatosi Pandava. So, Daivi Sampad Vimoksha. See, Arjuna might be offended thinking that he might have demoniac qualities. No, Krishna is assuring him. that transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, Daivi Sampad Vimokshaya, Nibandaya Asuri Mata, whereas demoniac qualities make for bondage. Masuja Sampadam Daivi, my dear Arjuna Pandava, do not worry, Masuchaha. Sampadam Deivim, you are born with divine qualities. Abhijatasya Daiva. Sampadam Deivim Abhijataha. You are born with divine qualities. Do not fear. So, on what basis Krishna considers Arjuna is born of saintly qualities and his fighting is not demoniac? Because Arjuna is considering the pros and cons of the situation. Like, for example, Arjuna considered whether respectable persons like Bhishma and Drona should be killed or not. So, to perform regulative principles of different orders of life is transcendental action. For a Kshatriya, shooting arrows at the enemy is considered transcendental, and not doing so is demoniac. Means if you are not doing your duty, it becomes demoniac. If you do your respective duties, it is transcendental for a Kshatriya. Like further it says, Arjuna was fearful of his own qualifications. He was thinking in first chapter that he had to run from fight, and that he was greedy. Therefore, Arjuna feared his nature. So Arjuna was fearful that he possessed demoniac nature in anger, speaking harshly, killing his relatives with arrows, proudly speaking. Therefore, Krishna says, Ma Suchaha, have faith. Don't worry, do your duty. So Krishna explains the results in the first line of the shloka. Then he is thinking, I will shower arrows on worshipable persons. I will be angry and rude. I will thus go to hell. Arjuna was thus lamenting, and Krishna said, don't lament, you are a Kshatriya, and your arrows are religious. Sampatti means what you possess under your control. There are two kinds of sampatti, divine, demoniac. They are open before you. Now you take up whatever you like. It is up to you. It is not forbidden that Daivi Sampatti is meant only for one class of men and Asuri Sampatti is meant for another class of men. Krishna is open to everyone. Krishna is not monopolized by a certain class of men. Don't think that Krishna is Indian. Krishna is Hindu. Kshatriya. Therefore, he is meant for others. No, because he is the Supreme Lord. He is everyone's property. If you develop your Daivi Sampat, then you become fit for Vimokshaya, for liberation. And what is that liberation? Liberation means coming to the platform of real knowledge. Mukti hitva anya rupam swarupena vyavasthiti means giving up something. Hitva anyata rupam. I am spirit soul to come to that platform. So liberation means janma vrittu jara vyadi, liberating from these four things. No more birth, no more death, no more disease, no more old age. So people are unaware and they are not interested. That's the unfortunate situation.
The demons cannot understand that God can be a person. That is demonic. They cannot, because they cannot understand the difficulty. A demon tries to understand God comparing with him. Dr. Frog. That is the story of Dr. Frog. Dr. Frog is trying to understand Atlantic Ocean comparing with his 3 feet well. That's all. When he is informed that there is Atlantic Ocean, he is simply comparing with his limited space. It may be 4 feet, or it may be 5 feet, it may be 10 feet, because he is within 3 feet. His friend informed, oh, I have seen a reservoir of water, vast water. So that vastness is just conjecture. How much the vastness may be? My well is 3 feet, it may be 4 feet, 5 feet, now he is going on. But he may go on millions of feet, still. That he doesn't. Therefore, atheistic person, demons, they think in their own way that God, Krishna may be like this, Krishna may be like this, Krishna may be like this. Generally they think that Krishna or I are the same. Krishna is not great. They do not believe that God is great. He thinks that God is as good as I am. I am also God. This is demonic.
So now, from next verse onwards, Krishna will start about demoniac qualities. In conclusion, Krishna explains about this perspective between these two qualities. Please repeat after me. Dvabhuta sattu lokesmin daiva asura evacha daivo vistarashah prokta Asuram partha me shunu.
Asuram partha me
Dvau bhuta sargo lokesmin.
Dvabhuta sargam
Daiva asura evacha.
Daiva asura evacha
Daivo vistarasha prokta.
Daivo vistarasya
Asuram partha me shunu.
Asuram partha me shunu.
So Krishna said, O Partha, O son of Pritha. So in this world, Dvau bhuta sargo lokesmin. In this world, loka, there are two kinds of created beings. Dvau bhuta sargo. Daiva asura evacha. One is called divine, the other one is called as demoniac. Daiva vistarasa prokta. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Asuram partame shunu. Now hear from me of the demoniac. So in this material world, the conditioned living entities are divided into two classes. So divine, those who are born with divine qualities, they follow a regulated life. They abide by the injunctions in the scriptures and by the authorities. Then there are other class who are demoniac, who do not follow the regulative principles as explained in the scriptures, and who act according to their whims. That's why they are called as demoniac or suri. So what is the differentiating principle between them is obedience to regulative principles of scriptures. One class obeys and the others do not. So Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, Dvayaha Prajapatya Devascha Asurascha. The Deva and the Asura, these two were produced by Brahma. In one lecture, Prabhupada says, there are many people, they do not like us because we are preaching God consciousness. This is our fault. Even in our own country, in India, the government do not like us because nowadays, everywhere practically, the demoniac people very much increased. The government is also demoniac. They do not like people in divine nature. They will tolerate all kinds of noise, barking of the dogs, motor car, passing the airplane overhead. But as soon as there is kirtana, they are disturbed. They will tolerate so many different types of noise, but they will not tolerate kirtana. That is from the very beginning. In New York, when we started this movement in the morning at 7 o'clock, we used to hold our class. And there was little sound. Immediately, the tenants from upwards, they will come down and complain. Sometimes they will call for police. And on the street, 2nd Avenue, there is always big trucks and motor cars going on, heavy sound. Then in your country, the garbage carrier sound, the digging sound, so many sounds, they will tolerate. And as soon as Hare Krishna, oh, it is intolerable. This is demoniac. They will not hear because that will do good to them by hearing. And they will not accept it. how demoniac qualities destroy one's consciousness is explained in this perspective here. So we'll get to know more details of these demoniac qualities in the next session. There are so many qualities, and Krishna is going to give a perspective why we should not cultivate these demoniac qualities. What will be the result of practicing these demoniac qualities in the next session? So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Dandavatam.